Colleen Munro is with us now, the president of Unbreakable Windows. Colleen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Hal.
Thanks for coming on for a couple of minutes here. I've heard your ads on CJOB, and I had a landlord on the other day, Michael Mark, and he was talking about the vandalism and stuff that he deals with all these apartments on Waterfront Drive. And the latest incident involved a broken window, and that sort of, connected me to your ads, which I've been hearing, and I thought, well, let's find out about this, because I am curious to hear about unbreakable windows. The product is called RockGlass, correct?
Correct. Unbreakable Windows is a company that supplies the RockGlass product, and I was fortunate enough to hear the story of the gentleman the other day, or partially the story, and unfortunately, I think his is one of many that seems to be happening. As you know, and it's reported on your radio stations, is there's always an increase in crime these days. And I think that with COVID, it certainly seems to have pushed. There's a lot of people that are at home, whether it be abandoned buildings because of the COVID. It seems that there's a lot of unprotected buildings that are, vulnerable right now.
And how does this product work, RockGlass? And is it for vehicles as well as home windows?
At this point in time, how we're not doing vehicles, RockGlass is really used as a proactive retrofit to any window. It can protect your windows before they break or replace after they're broken. It's quick and easy installation, and, you can use it. It seems one of the most popular things is storefront windows are broken into, lower windows are broken into. And unfortunately, it's just not in the core area anymore. I mean, it's going out to rural Manitoba. It's going out to other residential areas. I think as the desperation heightens here, and, just remember before COVID, there was our meth crisis, which is still present. And, desperation is still, happening out there with everything. So, with COVID, unfortunately, it has given business with regards to the health guards and the security barriers. Which, is going to be needed, especially with a lot of, government businesses going back to work. They're going to want, I think most people always want to make sure that their employees are safe. So this has certainly been a call that we were sort of unexpected for this.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned storefront windows. That's a really good point, because we have been seeing more commercial break-ins because of, as you mentioned, COVID-19. And so this is a window that can be put in as sort of a preventative measure, or it can replace a broken window and then you're good for next time. There won't be a next time.
Correct. And I think that's, really what we're trying to do is have people be proactive before it breaks. But, of course, we can't replace it after it breaks. And it's another alternative, a much better alternative than people boarding up their windows. When you board up the place, it leaves marks on you. And, I mean, let's face it, they can still pry open, the board to get in there. This way it's the glass, it's retrofit right over, and it's virtually unbreakable. So we see that as, if people can get on board and start protecting the property, because there's nothing worse than having a call in the middle of the night that your storefront's been broken into and stuff is missing. And let's face it, our police are very busy these days. It's very difficult to get to these places and stop anything. You can have your security cameras, which you might catch after, but again, what are you going to do? You still have all the damage, and the insurance companies, how many times are your deductibles? It's not worth it. And how many times can you keep on returning to the insurance companies?
A couple more questions. How does it work? Why is it unbreakable?
Well, you know what? It's a proprietary blend of materials that replicate glass. It's got the glass. It's got a titanium hard coating. It's abrasion and chemical resistant, and it's about 200 times stronger and shatterproof than glass, and it's twice as smooth and half the weight. So it's a blend of materials that have been developed here in Manitoba to be able to, see it's been in development for about 5 years. And it just sort of now is the perfect storm and timing where it seemed to, launch the business. And people are wanting more safety and security these days. There's fear. You take a look at, I heard you mention about the riots now in Minneapolis. There's civil unrest that seems to be happening. And, people want to be safe. And I think, unfortunately, that seems to be where a lot of our society is going these days. And like I said, before COVID, we still have our drug issues out there, too, that people with desperation.
Right. And it's Manitoba technology, eh?
It is. It is. I'm very proud of that.
Very cool. And then cost. That would be my other big question. And obviously, once you replace it, I guess it's good forever. You don't ever have to worry about it again. Is there much more of a cost involved?
You know what? It's about 50% higher than a regular piece would be. But as we would say, in the long run, if you're not replacing it, we just recently donated some glass to actually the soup kitchen, Crossway Soup Kitchen on West Broadway. And, unfortunately, they had one window that broke, and then the next one broke. Somebody came and did the other one that wasn't covered with RockGlass. So you can see that, they continue to have the problem. And we've heard that story a lot, where a lot of businesses come back and say, I just spent the money, couldn't use my, insurance, put a new window in, and it's broke again. So I would, beg to differ. It's 50% higher, but is it really in the long run a cheaper way to go?
Yeah. Boy, I'm glad I had you on. I didn't realize it was Manitoba technology, Manitoba grown. That's fantastic. It's unbreakable windows. The product is RockGlass. The company is Unbreakable Windows, and people can check it all out at unbreakablewindows.com. Right, Colleen?
You sure can. You can find a dealer there, and if you need it, we'd be happy to work with you.
Colleen, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the time today, Hal. Bye now.
Colleen Munro is the president of Unbreakable Windows. The product is called RockGlass. Basically, it's kind of a window security system in a way, right? And the website, again, is unbreakablewindows.com.